Hey, Facebook. Coming to you quickly on very little sleep. I've just emerged from the Capitol where it is absolutely freezing in our chamber. I'm wearing like a winter scarf. It's now, I think, 70 degrees outside, so I'm going to peel down all the layers. I have 2 sweaters on and a heavy-duty scarf to survive chamber. So with the week that started off with the first race of the season, the Sharon Classic Road Race, which was quite fun, despite the fact that I don't can't train as often as I used to. And then this week, 3 really long and kind of brutal days of session. Tuesday, we had a long session that went till midnight, during which we passed a number of bills, including 3 important pieces of gun legislation, including the ban on ghost guns, Ethan's Law, which requires safe storage of firearms in the home where a minor lives, including both loaded and unloaded weapons. And then a very long marathon session starting yesterday at noon and running until probably about 15 minutes ago, in which included an endless debate starting at 10 p.m. last night and ending just a few minutes ago on minimum wage. So that's a 14-hour debate on a single piece of legislation. And so I'm operating on a little sleep. We were in the chamber all last night, eating chocolate and trying to find little places to take 20-minute naps here and there, but to be ready to vote on amendments immediately. And so there's a minimum wage law bill passed in the House that was the result of a lot of negotiation with industry groups, with various caucuses, of which I was a part, and I think it's a really great compromise piece of legislation that will increase the minimum wage to $15 over 4.5 years. That was a compromise. The advocates for the bill wanted to do it in 3, and I and others asked to lengthen that to help small businesses so that the annual rise would be $1 or less. It also does not include tipped workers, so because the restaurant industry in particular was very concerned about that. What you may or may not know is that tipped workers have a lower required paid wage rate, which is a % of minimum wage. But they are, if you are a tipped worker and you don't make enough tips to compensate to get paid at least minimum wage, your employer still has to pay you minimum wage, has to make up the deficit. So they're still tied to minimum wage, but the required payment from the employer is not, and that's in part because tips keep up better with inflation and cost of living than do wages, or have wages historically. So it also includes a recession trigger, which is if we have 2 negative periods or negative growth in the economy, there's an automatic trigger that goes to the governor to examine whether we ought to take a pause on the increases. So this was hard fought. There were many conversations, and then kind of silly but brutal 14 hours of debate overnight, in which not a lot was accomplished. A lot of speeches were made, some more coherent than others as people got, I think, more tired. But we are done, and the House passed it. So we have that part of those negotiations were talking to the Senate and talking to the governor. So we expect that there will be agreement on this bill. The Senate will pass this bill. You never know, but we hope and expect they will, and that the governor will sign it. So stay tuned on that. And I'm going to go home. So I'm going to sleep a little bit during the daytime today because I'm pretty tired. Didn't get much sleep last night. So be well. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.